Hello and welcome to Bite Size, proudly brought to you by Priestley's Gourmet Delights. I'm your host, Xanny Christopherson, and each episode I sit down with a guest to chat through their business insights, their thoughts on the food service industry, and everything else in between. Today I was joined by the lovely Marie David. You might know Marie as the owner of Lola's Coffee Bars, the Filipino-inspired cafes right here in Brisbane. In this episode, we talked about Marie's journey into cafe ownership, how she's leveraged the power of social media in a really unique way, and why building a community has been so central to her business success. This conversation is incredibly insightful and a true look at what thoughtful, story-driven marketing can do for hospitality business. Welcome, Marie. We're super excited to have you on Bite Size today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Marie. I own Lola's Coffee Bar, Kelvin Grove and Tarragindi. I'm 27 and I'm just figuring out this whole cafe game, I guess.
So take me back to the very beginning, because we were having a chat before just around how you started out in journalism.
Yes, so I'm from Emerald initially. Emerald is like a small country town in Queensland, few thousand people, and it was during the time when I think all the worldly things were going on. So like Black Lives Matter, and growing up in a small town, I felt like I could do something with that and report on important issues like that. So I decided journalism would be that tool for me. So that's what I studied at QUT. Yeah.
So how did you go from journalism into running your cafe?
So the cafe was a complete accident. So my brother owns the barber shop that the Tarragindi one is directly connected to. And then it got to the point where he was like, okay, I don't even drink coffee. Do you want to buy the barber shop? And it was just after I graduated too, so I had to make a choice whether to take this risk or go into a 9-to-5 journalism job. And I said, I'll take the risk because I'm young.
I know, and that's what I love about you. So you're 27 and a bit of a go-getter. Where did that come from?
I think just coming from a immigrant background, first generation immigrants from the Philippines, we've always had that hardworking value instilled in us. So yes.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. And what about food? So, to be able to move from journalism into a cafe, where's your passion for food come from, and coffee?
From my mum, I would say. So my mum is a chef. She's the one that makes everything, all the food at Lola's. It's all her. I think she's the best chef in the world. Of course, as you do, as my grandmother as well. So that's where the food comes from. And the Philippines is so rich in flavors. So yes, that's where the passion comes from.
Wow, amazing. And before you were saying it was really a family affair. So you were saying that you're one of three.
Yes.
And that you have another brother involved in the business. Tell us about that.
So my second brother, the youngest, he works for my other brother and I. So he's an apprentice barber and he's also a barista for me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you ever fight as a family? Because you got your mother involved, effectively your two brothers, because I'm sure your brother that owns the barbershop watches and gives his 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only one we haven't mentioned is your dad, which I know
No, my dad has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, there's 4 people involved. At the start, it was kind of hard to navigate and maneuver. But I think now, going into nearly 3 years in business, we've kind of learned how to manage each other's communication style and just the way we work. But at the start, it was definitely hard.
And tell me, where's your vision for Lola come from?
Everything is derived from, I guess, my background and my culture. So everything is very specific. Everything we do, from food, our menu, the colors that we choose, it is so specific to the Filipino culture that when you really think about it and look at our branding in general, you would see little clues.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Amazing. And you opened your second successful cafe in Kelvin Grove last year. Why Kelvin Grove?
Kelvin Grove, because when my real estate agent showed me, because he was the one that found the first location for my brother, and he knew that we were kind of outgrowing that space, and he came to me and said, look at this space, like I think this would be really good. And I said, oh my goodness, I know exactly where that is. My class at uni was right across the road, so it felt right.
Yeah, fair enough. And I think it's really important in business that, you do have those feelings.
Yeah.
Tell me, because I think this will be really interesting for our listeners, is what were the metrics that you could see in your Tarragindi store that you knew you were outgrowing and you needed a second location?
There's this TikTok video that I posted that also went viral, where it was during the time we released our strawberry matcha, and the crowd poured into the street, into the car park.
Oh my goodness.
We couldn't sit anyone. It was just too much at that time. It was just absolute chaos. The neighbors were like, what's going on? So it was during that time I was like, okay, we need another space.
Why did it go viral?
I think from a video, but it was the colors and the layers that kind of enticed people to be like, what is that?
Yeah.
Why is it green? Why is it pink?
Yeah. And I was online on Friday just doing a little bit of research, and you've got the
Yes.
What do you call it?
The double cups.
Yes. Amazing. So where did you get that idea from?
I think all my ideas just come from me like having time. When I'm whisking matcha in the store, it's like I call it my thinking time. So when I'm whisking, I'm thinking about new ideas, and I was like, wouldn't it be so cool to have 2 cups? Because I drink both coffee and matcha. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have like 2 cups, and then you can just choose so that you're not disposing of 1 cup. You can just have the one and then drink the other one later. And then that's when I thought of the double cup. Yeah.
And how's it going?
It's going good. And people don't actually realize that it's 2 full-size drinks in one.
Yeah, I think it's an incredible idea. Like, it's so innovative, right? And we haven't seen a lot of that come through at all in the cafe culture for quite some time. So okay, yes, you're doing your matcha and you're dreaming it up, but where do you draw your inspiration from?
To be honest, I don't know. They just come to me, and then it could be the next day. I could be like, right, guys, we're putting this on the menu. I think it's going to work well.
Yeah. And what about sourcing of your packaging? Because you need very unique packaging to be able to make that come to life.
Yeah. See, that's still something we're thinking of all the time, and the suppliers have to be involved in our vision, because there's some suppliers that literally will come to you and be like, no. Yes. We can't do it. It's not possible, or it'll take like 6 months. And I'm impatient. So when they come to me and say that, I'm like, no, next. Yeah.
Amazing. And do you travel much?
I do, yes. I go back to the Philippines a lot. That's where I draw a lot of my inspiration from.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then, are your menus seasonal? Like, how do you make sure you stay, fresh all the time with, your offerings other than coffee or matcha?
So in the beginning it was, and we would come out with, seasonal drinks or products, or like a weekend special, that sort of thing. But I think it's come to the point where a lot of our recipes are already out there, and when I think of new recipes, I want it to be right. So a lot of cafes, what they're doing now is they'll probably do like a monthly special. I just don't think we can keep up in a way where if I think of these monthly specials and have that pressure on me, I would not feel 100% putting that out there.
Yeah.
It's hard work. So for chefs and whatnot to do that every month, I know how hard it is, and for you to feel confident to put that out, it's hard, and I don't personally feel confident, so I only do it when it's the right recipe.
Yeah, and I guess your mum needs at least a bit of breathing space to actually innovate as well.
Yes, that's correct. And a lot of our community, they're very honest with us. So even if I decide to put something out for like a week, they'll tell us, give us feedback, and they kind of decide whether it'll stick on the menu or not.
Yeah. That's amazing though, because it must mean that you've built a lot of brand trust within your cafes.
Yeah.
So have you done any marketing? Like in terms of degrees or learning,
No.
or are you all self-taught about that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, your socials and what you do there is, they're pretty incredible.
Thank you.
So tell me about where you dreamed up that idea from.
The marketing, I think from the beginning, my main focus was because the Tarragindi store is in a barber shop. So I wanted it to be different and I wanted to solidify our branding, who we are, our community, what our target audience would look like, how they would kind of speak to us and interact with us. I thought of that from the very beginning, and so that there were no holes in my plan.
You're an experiences girl, aren't you? You think about the full end-to-end experience, which is super cool.
Yeah. And I think everything has only recently kind of come into fruition with everything that we did 2.5 years ago, nearing 3.
Yeah, wow. And so do you have anyone doing the social media other than you? Like
Yes.
managing,
Now
I should
I
say.
do.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
Now I do, because it's come to the point where I can't do everything anymore. Yeah.
And what was the tipping point? How did you know? Again, like what's the tipping points, in your career and, managing a cafe, because it's incredibly dynamic.
Yeah.
And you need breathing space to be able to have the head space to be able to innovate. But how do you know when you need to get the next level of help inside your business so you can continue to grow?
So I started with TikTok. I started filming just my everyday, figuring out how to open a cafe, because I didn't have that experience. So I was kind of figuring it out with everyone, and people were commenting, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this drink or this recipe? And I took everyone's advice on. But in my head, like you said, I'm a very forward thinker. In my head, I don't think that that is sustainable in 2-3 years' time. So when I felt like it was right, that's when I kind of started to hire a photographer or videographer or social media manager. But everything is in-house. So we don't go through an agency. I have a team who work for me and me only. Yeah.
So do you work in the cafe as well?
I do, yeah. I work 4 days a week, or 4 or 5 days, and it's split in between stores evenly. Yeah.
So that's how you keep your quality control.
Correct. And that's how I speak to my community, who are very open and honest with me. And we always welcome that, always welcome feedback, anything.
Yeah. Right. Very good. So Marie, we've spoken a lot about community, and you've mentioned the word quite a bit throughout the podcast. So tell me, how have you built such a strong community around Lola's Cafe?
I think from the beginning, I've always welcomed openness and honesty. And because I know that they know as well, I'm doing this with them and I'm only learning as I go, they want to help. There is that want, and there is that want for me to succeed because they believe in me so much.
Yeah, that's incredible. And have you done that on purpose?
Yes, because I take feedback on really well, and it's something that I want all the time, because not having that experience, you'd want that kind of, you're doing well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. Look, feedback's a gift. But how do you filter out? Because you must be getting a lot of feedback, right? How do you make sure that you're listening to the right types of feedback, and what's the process that you go through?
So I look at, I guess, what people would tell me in person. So one person would come up, I'll kind of think about it. And then when the next one comes, I kind of am like, okay, this is serious. Like, I need to put it on my menu, or I'd need new tables, for example. It's really like that. But then again, there's some random requests that are just so diabolical to me that would just not work. And that's how I kind of filter that out. Like, oh my goodness, it would literally take me like 2 hours to prep that one drink.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's really great advice. And I mean, you're so innovative in the way that you do your social media. So can you give me a reason why you think it's so important for businesses to build and maintain a following?
It's a way to connect. I see social media as a way to not only connect, but also educate. I think I've said this before, where social media is easily accessible. You have to decide what you want to put out as a business, and whether that's feeding into people's kind of doom scrolling or actually giving them something of value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. So where do you think your business acumen comes from, right? Because we're talking, you're 27 years old. How many years have you been out of uni?
Or
Like
8? I don't know.
Okay.
Oh no.
But you're still...
My maths is a bit off. I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? But, as a 27-year-old, you're incredible in terms of thinking about how you're going to lift and keep on progressing. Where do you think it comes from?
The worry, I think, of like, okay, I've been given this opportunity. How do I keep this opportunity? I think people always bask in that, oh my goodness, I've gone viral, I'll be fine. No, because there will always be someone who has better ideas than you or who are more experienced than you. And I want to always kind of be in the front and be the one leading that. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be the best. I can tell. And why do you think your videos go so well? And why they're going? You've mentioned, the word viral many times. Why do you think they're going viral?
Because people see the process, people see the mistakes, and people see that there's a human behind it who is genuinely passionate about what she does and why she does it. Yeah.
Do you ever just feel like, I just need a day away from being social?
All the time, especially now, like, I'm whisking matcha, people are speaking to me, but that's my social time. And when I'm at home, I'm completely silent. But in terms of like, if you mean you just need to step back from the cafe, no, I just can't relax. I can't seem to find it in me to.
Yeah. You do have to learn how to switch off.
Yes.
As an older female talking to a younger female, you will have to do that at some stage in your life. How long does it take to film one of your short films?
Our marketing ones, a while, a full day or a few days. Yeah, we really put the effort in. We get all the right gear, all the right people. So a long time. And then it goes through multiple people. So videographer, someone who will edit, color grade, graphic design.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So
whole process.
Did you learn that in journalism?
No, I did not.
So how have you been able to bring the skill set to life?
My team.
Okay.
They are the best of the best. Yeah, the best creatives.
Yeah. And how are you choosing them then?
Through a lot of the time they approach us. They'll come in or we'll see their work and we'll pitch something to them and they're like, wow, I believe in what you're doing. So I want to put what I can do in that team for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's resonating with me there really is it's about building the brand and then the talent will come because they're believing in what the brand can do.
Yeah.
Which is so strong to be at. We were talking about before as well is that you have had a little bit of a history, with a big multinational, I'd say, cafe chain, which is where you kind of, I guess, from the grassroots up, learn how to run a cafe business.
Yes, yeah. So I started working when I was 12 and it's legal because it's Emerald. So my first job was in a grocery store. So I would do everything, clean the chicken oven, load the smoke packets. So I've been through it. I've had a lot of experience in terms of like labor and managing. So Gloria Jeans was something that taught me how to make drinks.
Yeah.
Smoothies, slushies. Yeah.
Right. And what's your favourite drink right now?
Banana bread matcha.
Ooh, why?
Because it was so hard for me to replicate banana bread in a drink and mixing that with tea. I don't know. I just made it work and it took me a year. Yeah.
So when you're mixing, right?
Yes.
So cake and coffee, same but different.
Mixing.
So the banana bread flavour, is that a powder?
No. So we have 4 layers. If you do it properly, you have 4 layers. So we have the banana puree. That's what makes the banana flavor.
Right.
The milk, the matcha, and then we do like a banana bread cold foam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's not like a banana matcha, it's banana bread.
Wow.
4 layers.
I have had a coffee with cold foam and they are delicious.
Yeah.
They're like next level.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. And it's, if you link it back into cake and what we see as banana bread is like, everyone's bare basic favorite.
Correct.
Everyone loves banana bread.
Everyone.
Interesting. And is that one of your best sellers?
It is my bestseller now.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Fascinating. So what's next for Lola's?
See, that's a hard question for me because we've only been a year into Kelvin Grove, but how I see it is ube, which is like a taro flavor. That's our national, like in the Philippines, that's very popular. It is a yam and it is one of our best-selling flavors in the cafe, not only just the cakes, but we do ube drinks as well. I'd like to kind of tap into that because I think, and I'm projecting that ube is going to be the next matcha. So we've had people reach out to be a supplier. So I don't know. I'm thinking that wholesale kind of route, or my third cafe will be my last, and then hopefully franchise. I'm not sure.
Wow, amazing. And I guess, what's one piece of advice? Like, you're building an empire here, which is super exciting.
It's so crazy when you say that.
Well, you are. I mean, you've got two, with the option of a third and then a franchisee model. Like, that's insane for someone as young as you. You're clearly motivated. What's your one piece of advice that you give people that wanted to start out?
I think my biggest advice is knowing, I think two in one advice is knowing your why, because you go through some hard times, and I'm sure you would know that. There are some hard times where you really just want to give up and you don't have it in you, but your why is what will keep you there. And another thing is, I think everyone goes on Pinterest, everyone goes on TikTok. They look for inspiration that is easy and easily accessible to them. But for me, I think you should go out and actually experience life and derive your inspirations and put that in your cafe or in the work that you're doing, because that's important and that's where you get original ideas from. Yeah.
So can you just expand on that a little bit more on the second piece of advice? Because I agree, is business for me is about a game of taking more steps forwards than it is backwards, and being able to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and off you go again, right? But whereabouts have you built in real life experiences into, somewhere like Lola? Like we've spoken about travel. But where else do you get it?
So I work in theatre. I still have those jobs because genuinely it's something I really enjoy. It's where the people are just so amazing. I work with creatives a lot. They have really a vast life experience. So working in theatre, I've been there for 8 years. I see a lot of shows all the time. We bring that into our short films, which we are known for. We don't believe in direct marketing. We believe in educating and inspiring people. So when you look at our social media, we're known for really like our little carousels or short films. That's where I put my real life, everything into play.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Bite Size. We really appreciate all the support we've received. If you'd like to hear more incredible stories and amazing guests, make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Bye.